Hello, hello. Good to see you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Viperstrike 95 Flight Sim, and we are back with our 11th day of our around the world trip. Today we're here back where we left off on Friday at Bradshaw International, just outside of Basseterre in St. Kitts. I hope everyone's doing well here today on this wonderful Sunday. I hope you guys are currently having a great weekend. So today we're here to explore not only both St. Kitts and Nevis, we'll also be checking out Antigua and Barbuda today, our next sovereign country. So I hope everyone's doing well today on here as well. Big day today, not just for the stream, but also today is Super Bowl Sunday. So I will be talking about a little bit about the Super Bowl. Not just this matchup, but also the history of it. So before we get started, I want to say hello to everyone in the chat. We have Super Typhon, good to see you, Alec D, and a first-time chat, the Go688. First-time chat, welcome in, my dude. I hope you're having a good day as well. So here's our flight plan for this stream today. If you guys want to join in, I'm on the Southeast Asian server. Take a plane that can at least go 75 to 90 knots. So, simple flight plan, we're going to fly from Bradshaw. We're going to make our way around the island of St. Kitts while checking out Brimstone Fortress in downtown Basseterre. Then afterwards, we'll be checking out a bit of the island of Nevis, making our way over to our first stop here at Advanced Wentworth Airport. Then afterwards, we'll be traveling northeast to 53 nautical miles. We'll make our way over to Codrington and check out the island of Barbuda before making our first stop here at Codrington Airport. And then afterwards, we'll make our way back across the Caribbean Sea again and make our way over to Antigua. Check out the island before making our final landing at BC Bird International at Tango Alpha Papa Alpha. Conclude today's stream. Like I said, the distance isn't far. It's 158 nautical miles, which is one of the shortest, if not the shortest flight so far in terms of nautical mile distance. However, I still want to be within the 2 hours. So the plane I'm taking today is something you guys weren't expecting today. And it's this little guy. Yes, it is the Drifter Ultralight from Ants Airplanes. Wait, what? What's the last time I have flown this bird in the sim? Well, I believe the last time I've flown this, I kid you not, was during my City Tour series back in 2022. That's right, it's been almost a year since I've last flown this thing. But I felt this would be a good time to take this old bird out for a spin through these islands. For at least for St. Kitts and Antigua, this would definitely be a good plane to take over these areas. Yeah, very popular ultralight, seats 2 people, has pretty good range. This one is from Ants Airplanes. Beautiful little ultralight. She can do autopilot. She's got preference settings. Flight data, version build. It's a pretty nice little ultralight. You can get this on Sim Market. It's a very cheap plane, but Ants Airplanes is known for their quality. They make a lot of high quality add-ons. So I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, the detail from this airport plane is really good. They make a lot of high detailed stuff on this plane. So, like I said, old airplane, but man, she still flies like a beast. Oh yeah, the engine detail is really nice, Alec. Yeah, beautiful little bird. But yeah, the Drifter Ultralight is a very cool ultralight that doesn't get enough flying time, but the Drifter The Drifter Ultralight, which is here in the sim. It's originally known as the Lockwood Drifter. Built in the 1980s. Over 1,400 of these planes have been built. They've been used for a lot of roles like recreation flying, agricultural, aerial photography, flight training, and more. These things can cruise to 65 knots and have a range of 230 miles, which is perfect because, well, that's how long this flight's going to be. Yeah, she's a really cool plane, and like I said, I haven't taken one of these ultralights in a long, long time, so this would be the perfect sort of flight for this. Yeah, the detail on this plane is still really nice, even though it's an older one. The detail is still great. Like Ant's airplanes, they're well known for a lot of their detailed stuff. Oh yeah, one more thing. Drifter, we have MFJ86 in the V-22 Osprey. Oh, very cool. Let's go ahead and get her off into the sky. Oh man, she's a beautiful bird. Oh, very pretty. Yeah, this is the Island St. Kitts. So our cruise altitude for this leg will be 3,000 feet. Oh yeah, and here's the tower. You just turn the autopilot on, heading hold. We're gonna go to. And we're gonna do virtual speed. Yeah, she's a super nice bird to take off in for sure. But yeah, I haven't taken this plane out in over a year, but if you guys remember back in the old days, I used to do a series here on Twitch called the City Tour series. And what I did was take these ultralights, like this one, and I fly through some of the major cities on the trips. For example, I took the ultralights for Louisville. I flew through Louisville, Indianapolis, I believe. Um, Seattle was one. London was another city. I flew over London with this. Orlando was one. I flew through Orlando. Tampa, St. Petersburg. I think I did one of those. Nashville was my first one. Nashville was one. Yeah, I took the ultralights for a lot of these places. Houston was another one too. I have plenty of experience with flying these little ultralights. Man, it's absolutely gorgeous. And the best thing about flying these ultralights, look at the view you get. There is no cockpit over it. So you actually, there's nothing separating you between you and the wind. So you get some beautiful views. Absolutely gorgeous. If you look here, here's where the passenger sits. So if you're a passenger, you sit like right here. And you even have less in the way of visibility. It's stunning. There's a lot of detail in this thing. So over here to our left is the tallest island in St. Kitts and Nevis. This is Mount Liamuga. That is to our left. Just the view from here is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. This weekend, well, I got good news for the virtual airline. We just reached the XP goal, and now we're gonna get a new hub. I don't know when Murph's gonna reveal what the new hub's gonna be for our virtual airline, but I hope it's an interesting one. I hope it's the Caribbean, just because it just got an update, and I thought this would be the next good place to expand. It's in the winter, cold out there, and you guys definitely want a warmer locale. If not, the other destinations I would think about would be Africa, since that is really the only really untouched region of the virtual airline, or Southeast Asia would all sound pretty good. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. But yeah. So there's also been a new achievement as well for our virtual airline. We got the BOC, British Overseas Airway Company achievement, which we're recreating that. I've already got one leg done. Um, but I'll work out most of those until today and tomorrow, so I'll be completing those. That's pretty big news. And yes, the premiership has changed names. It's no longer Viper's premiership, it's Sean's premiership, as Sean actually beat me for the first time anyone's beat me in the premiership. And I'm not even mad. Sean Dale was an absolute terror. I'm not even mad. Okay. Go ahead and prepare for the turn. Let's go ahead and talk about Antigua and Barbuda, actually, while we're here. So Antigua and Barbuda, located here in the Caribbean. It consists of two major islands, Antigua and Barbuda, and several smaller islands. It's largely accounts for tourism, mainly accounts for 80% of the GDP here in Antigua and Barbuda. Its capital largest city is St. John's, while Barbuda's largest town is Codrington. Um, and just like St. Kitts, it offers a citizenship by investment program and levies no personal income tax. So, definitely something to keep in mind. In terms of the history of the place, Antigua and Barbuda Antigua was first settled by the Archaic Age by hunter-gatherer Native Americans called the Saboni. Dating around by 3100 BC, they were later succeeded by the Ceramic Age Salinoid people, which they brought agriculture, raising crops and others, including the famous Antigua black pine, as well as corn, sweet potatoes, chili, and cotton. In terms of Europeans, Christopher Columbus was the first European to sight the islands in 1493, though the Spanish did eventually settle it, not colonize it, but eventually it was then settled by the British in 1632, as the Brits ended up settling there instead. And then later they settled Barbuda in 1685. So. Hey, good to see you, Flipper Alloy. Good to see you, my dude. We're just exploring Barbuda and Antigua today. We're actually right here in St. Kitts. We're going to explore both the islands for a little bit. Oh, let's go ahead and I'm going to close the slideshow for just a second because we see one of the new POI landmarks here. Brimstone Fortress is actually down below us. So here it is. This is the Brimstone Fortress, a UNESCO World Heritage Site here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So, there it is. There's the Brimstone. That protected the island from foreign invaders. From other European powers from trying to take the island, so... let's get... So I hope you're doing well, Flipper Alloy. We're just going to talk about Antigua and Barbuta's history for a bit. The English did maintain control of the islands, repulsing a French attack in 1666. The brutal conditions endured by slaves led to revolts in 1701-1729. But it didn't take until over 100 years later when slavery was abolished. However, there wasn't much history about the islands, it turns out. Much of it was actually pretty quiet. Then, during the 20th century, Antigua and Barbuda were part of a short-lived West Indies Federation from 1958 to 1962. And then it gained independence after years of being discussions about the state's future. Antigua and Barbuda gained independence on November 1st, 1981. With the first prime minister from Antigua being Very Bird. The first 2 decades of independence were dominated politically by the Bird family and the ABLP, with both Very Bird ruling from 1981 to 1994, and then his son from 1994 to 2004. The ABLP's dominance ended in 2004, won by Winston Baller Spencer's United Progressive Party. Though the ABLP returned to power in 2014, most of Barbuda was devastated by Hurricane Irma, which destroyed 95% of the island's buildings, which was really tragic, to say the least. So like I said, there isn't a lot to talk about. Unlike St. Kitts, there really isn't much history stuff to talk about Antigua and Barbuda. So... But yeah, this area is very pretty here. Yeah, this here is the capital city. This is Rosterre, the capital city. Man, I mean, the Caribbean is so gorgeous. If you guys haven't noticed, I really do hope we get a Caribbean hub. Many of these islands right now are so gorgeous. So yeah, I wanted to, hey, Devil Dude, good to see you, Devil Dude. What's up? Yes, but yeah, it's the Drifter Ultralight. Yes, you haven't seen me take this thing out in over a year. But I mean, but for this leg, this would be like the perfect plane for this leg. Like, fast, it's, you know, and you got great visibility, you can see everything. There are some MSFS news. I know Merce talked on the radio, so Merce already talked with Sky Blue Radio. But the big news is that the XF-11 from Flying Freaks has now been released to MSFS yesterday, and so is Artie Preset's Salzburg scenery. And then the really big news, the Diamond DH-42 from CALS is now for MSFS. which looks to be absolutely amazing and be the and that DA42 is going to come up for $3, which isn't too bad at all considering for the quality. That's right when it needs to be. Absolutely. Just stunning. The water masking here is just so good. Oh man, this is just stunning, guys. You got someone finding Dion 42 on your screen. Ah, I do see it. Yeah, I see someone in a DA42. Yeah, I see it right in front of me, Typhon. Um, this round here is Frigate Bay. To your left is known as Frigate Bay. This is, like I said, St. Kitts has got some really cool places to visit. I'm going to be checking out St. Kitts on next year's vacation. I'll be checking out St. Kitts for the first time next year. So I'm very, very excited to check out the islands, St. Kitts. Be very excited to check out the island because, like I said, I really would like to check out the place. I heard it's beautiful. I don't know if I want to spend 20 extra bucks on it if you're flying GA planes. I get it, Devil Dude. I mean, I've been flying a lot more of the airliners lately for my streams, but I still want to get a GA plane that I would truly be interested in. Like, for example, I would still like to get more vintage planes, like more bush planes, because I like flying those when I'm not on stream. I do like flying those sometimes. Sometimes, like old vintage airliners, like for example, like the J52, I'll still be flying that. And more. Like, I don't mind flying some of the old vintage planes too, every once in a while. But yeah, the cows, if you like the diamond stuff, I mean, the cows would be like top. So this here is Nevis. Our next stop will be at Nevis. We'll be landing at Vance W.R. Amory Airport. That will be our next stop. I mean, yeah, the MSFS DA62 is already pretty good, but the 42 will do plenty. But so yeah, beautiful Nevis. I'm very interested to check out the island. So, very beautiful day. I do want to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl that's going to go on. Now, if you guys are not from around the United States, let me give you a bit of a background about it. The Super Bowl is the annual league championship of the National Football League, which is an American football league, not international football like the rest of them. It's been around since 1966, replacing the NFL championship game. Um, Winning teams are awarded the Vince Lombardi Trophy after the coach who won the first two, Vincent Thomas Lombardi, of the Green Bay Packers. Due to the NFL trademark in Super Bowl, it's referred to as the Big Game by non-sponsoring corporations. And the history of the Super Bowl can go all the way back to 1966 as part of a merger agreement between the NFL and the competing American Football League. To have the best teams compete for a championship, as a way to merge the two leagues. In all games since 1971 featured the best teams of both the National Football Conference and the American Football Conference. Currently, the Super Bowl is among the world's most watched sport events and commands the largest audience among all American broadcasts during the year, and it's second only to the UEFA Championship League Finals as the most watched club sport event worldwide. In fact, 7 of the most watched broadcasts in American television history are Super Bowl. So, as well as commercial airtime is also the most expensive of the year. So, in terms of ceremonies and entertainment, there also features a halftime show consisting of marching bands. Originally, early on, were marching bands, but as the game got more popular, pop singers and musicians became during the halftime. And there were some pretty controversial halftime shows. Most notably, Super Bowl 38, which was in 2003 when Justin Timberlake. That was pretty funny. And of course, in terms of venues, the Super Bowl venue that has hosted the most events is the stadium with the most is the Superdome, but the areas that were held the most Super Bowls were mainly 3 areas. More than half of the Super Bowls were in 3 metropolitan areas: Miami, New Orleans, and Los Angeles. Um, Pretty crazy, and the reason they picked a lot of these teams in those areas is because, well, because of the warm climates. It's pretty crazy stuff, obviously. And then finally, in terms of Super Bowl teams and most successful clubs that have won a Super Bowl, in terms by number of teams, the team that has won the most Super Bowls is the New England Patriots, with 6 championships out of their 11 appearances, winning championships in 2001, 2003, 2004, 2014, 2016, and 2018. All those championships were led by Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Outside of that, the next most successful franchise that's also won 6 Super Bowls is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Winning championships in 1974, 75, 78, 79, 2005, and 2008, winning 6 and 8 appearances. 4 from the 70s era Steelers, and then the other 2 were from the Big Ben Roethlisberger era Steelers. And then after Pittsburgh, New England at the top 2, the number 3 will be shared by the Cowboys and 49ers with 5. The Cowboys won 2 in the 70s, and then 3 and 4 years in the 1990s. And then the 49ers won 1981, 1984, 1989, and 94. 4 of them were from the Joe Montana era, and 1 from Steve Young. Then rounding out the top 5 is tied between the Packers and New York Giants with 4. However, despite that, there are only 4 teams that have never appeared in the Super Bowl. Those 4 teams are the Cleveland Browns, who won the NFL championship 4 times. However, they have yet to appear in the Super Bowl as they came close 3 separate times in the late 80s. Then you have the Detroit Lions, who came very close this year to making the Super Bowl. They didn't just choke. Sorry, Lions fans in the chat. Next is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now they're a pretty young franchise. They did make it an AFC title game 3 times. However, they came up short in 96, 99, and 2017. And finally, the Houston Texans never made it to the championship game at all, and they're the NFL's youngest franchise. So yeah, that's about the notes for the Super Bowl history overview. This year's Super Bowl should be a very, very interesting game because you have 2 of the best teams in the league. You have the San Francisco 49ers, who had the best record in the NFC this season, versus the Chiefs, who didn't have the best record, though the Chiefs are currently doing really good in the playoffs. Overall, though, I think this game should be very exciting. I mean, this should be a very high-scoring matchup because on one hand, for the 49ers, you have Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. Yes, just imagine Mr. Irrelevant, the last part. And this team is loaded with talent. Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, Chase Young, George Kittle, Trent Williams, Eric Armstead. Loaded with talent for the Niners. Really Snead's pretty good as well. And then for the Chiefs, you guys know the Chiefs, and who they have it. Of course, a potential all-time great Patrick Mahomes. One of the game's great tight ends is Jason Kelce. And then a team system with Isaiah Pacheco, Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney, Chris Jones, Mecole Hardman. And of course, they're also led by future Hall of Fame head coach Andy Reid, who's already had an extremely successful history of being a head coach. Hey, Skinflints, good to see you. I see Skinflints with us. He's in the DC3. Nice. Oh, yes, and Taylor Swift. Yes, Jason Kelce's personal cheerleader, Taylor Swift. Oh, yes, that should be definitely very interesting. Yeah, Taylor Swift, if you guys aren't aware of the news, she's been a part of it too. And here's Nevis's peak, the tallest peak on the island of Nevis. And here, guys, is our first stop of the trip at Vance Winkworth Amory Airport. This is actually the main airport on Nevis. It has a single runway about 4,000 feet long, and it does flights all across the Caribbean, including St. Croix, St. Kitts, St. Thomas, San Juan, Tortola, Dominica, and Anguilla. Just pretty. Absolutely stunning. And let's see who's flying with us. We have quite a few skinflints with us. Alec D's here as well. MFG86. Great to have all you guys here with us. Thank you guys so much for joining along with us today. It's great to have all you guys here as always. If you guys are liking what you see here and want to support the channel, what better way to support the channel than smashing that follow button? Support the channel. We stream here on every single Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays here on Twitch. So, also do check out the Discord as well. So if you guys want to join along, we have our beautiful Discord. So I think the plan is on Sunday. I'm going to be doing a flight in the DC-6. We're going to do a bit of a longer flight with it. I'm going to do another stream with the DC-6 on Wednesday. I'm planning on doing a flight from Reno over to Las Vegas. Should be nice. Or I'm actually probably thinking about doing the DC-6 from Reno to Fresno, and then Fresno to Las Vegas. Should be a really nice stream to those two areas as well. So, welcome to Nevis. So, beautiful landing. This is a nice little airport here in the Caribbean. Very nice. But this airport's mainly used for a lot of turboprop services. Flying across this airport, a lot of prop services. So definitely a beautiful trip as well. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and get take it off again. Go ahead and take off for a bit. Next stop on Barbuda. We're going to say goodbye to St. Kitts and Nevis for the last time. We're going to say goodbye to St. Kitts and Nevis, and we're going to head our way over to Barbuda. For the last time. But the plans for this next week is probably going to be a simple trip. So next week is going to be Reno to Fresno. We're going to fly from Reno, Nevada over to Fresno, Yosemite, and then Fresno over to Las Vegas, Nevada. So we'll be doing 2 flights, and we're going to be doing them in the Douglas DC-6. I want to spend more time with the Douglas, so I thought this would be a good time to do our streaming stuff. I mean, should be a beautiful route. And yes, the reason I picked Reno over Lake Tahoe is because it would be significantly easier to take off and operate out of Reno than it would be out of Tahoe. Plus, I really, really want. I hope that maybe I can convince the CEO of the virtual airline to move to Reno, since um, it just makes more sense for a hub to be Reno than Lake Tahoe is currently. I like Lake Tahoe as a hub, but I think Reno is just a better fit for the airline, honestly. With how much this airline's evolved since it first came out, I think it'd be good to adapt. That's gonna be Wednesday's stream. Thursday we'll be back at Antigua, and we'll make our way through Dominica and St. Lucia. And yes, we're not landing in Martinique or Guadeloupe, and that's because those are not sovereign countries. We'll be flying over them, but we won't be talking about them for the stream. And of course, next week, next Sunday, we'll be back in St. Lucia, and we'll make our way through Barbados and St. Vincent, and we'll fly over some of the St. Vincent airports. And that would be next Sunday's stream, and that would be the last, one of the last streams, I believe, before my vacation, on the 23rd. So that would be the last around the world trip stuff until I get back on March 8th. So it won't be for a bit. Just to let you guys know what I'm going to plan for the next couple of streams. So yeah, guys, I want to talk a little bit more about Antigua and Barbuda for a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about Antigua and Barbuda's geography. In terms of geography, limestone formations, rather than volcanic activity, have the most impact on the topography, which are both low-lying islands. Boggy Peak is the highest point on the island nation, which rises up to 402 meters, and is located in the southwest of Antigua, which we will be flying over as well. Both these islands have irregular shaped coastlines. They are dotted with beaches, lagoons, and natural harbors. There's also reefs and shoals surrounding the island. There's also a small uninhabited island 25 miles southwest of Antigua known as Redonda. There's also lots of other smaller islands as well. But it's mainly made of the two big islands of Antigua and Barbuda. The largest island is about Antigua is actually only 21 kilometers across. And in Barbuda is even smaller. It's only 161 square kilometers. So pretty small. And it's actually 181st in the nation in total land area, which puts it right among the bottom. It's only just slightly bigger than Barbados and below the Seychelles in terms of land area. And then in terms of American nations in the Americas independence, they are the fourth smallest independent nation in the Americas. Fourth smallest. Not very big. The islands generally experience low humidity and require droughts because, surprisingly, despite what you think, Antigua and Bermuda, depending on what season, and the temperatures range between 80 degrees in the winter to around 86 degrees in the summer and autumn. Hurricanes struck an average of once a year. So definitely geography-wise, Bermuda and Antigua are definitely not really standouts, but that was just something I wanted to really point out while we were flying in the island. Then afterwards, we gotta talk about politics for a little bit. Politically, it is part of the it's a unitary parliamentary representative democratic monarchy. The current head of state is Charles III, which makes sense. This is part of the Commonwealth realm. The king is represented by the Governor General Sir Rodney Williams, and the Council of Ministers is appointed by the Governor General. Currently, the Prime Minister is Gaston Brown. Executive power is exercised by the government, while legislative power is vested in both government and the two chambers of parliament, which is a bicameral Senate and a lower House of Representatives, to serve 5-year terms. However, there has been a lot of development in republicanism as well since Elizabeth's death and Barbados, when they became a republic, with the majority showing a lot of change. So that's definitely something to keep in mind when we talk about Bermuda's political system. Hey, QC Frank, good to see you. QC Frank, I see you in the back in the XF11. Oh boy. Oh boy, the XF11. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting bird to fly. I mean, if you guys weren't aware about that XF11, it was one of the planes built by Howard Hughes back in the 30s. He tried to get a land speed record. It was a prototype military plane. And Howard Hughes tried to fly it, and he nearly crashed in Beverly Hills. He nearly died when he crashed the plane in Beverly Hills. He clipped 3 houses. He was nearly killed. But absolutely crazy machine to think about. 450 miles per hour at 33,000 feet. You can climb to 42,000 feet. You can climb up to 33,000 feet in 17 minutes. Absolutely ridiculous machine powered by 2 Pratt & Whitney engines that produce 3,000 horsepower each. With 8-bladed contra-routine propellers as well. This thing's insane. But I mean, it makes sense when it's considered to be built by the real-life Mr. House himself. We have Alec D, we have QC Frank, we also have MFJ86 with us. And Skinflint's was here with us as well in the DC3s. A lot of people here. So yeah, this week's schedules for around the community. I know Murph's gonna have his stuff. Tomorrow's gonna be his Gallic War stream. He's gonna do part 7, crossing the Rhine River, deal with the Germanic tribes. So he'll be doing across the Rhine. And then on Allison's stream on Tuesday, she'll be back with another airliner stuff. This time, she'll be doing she's gonna do some nice scenery for Beirut to Athens, and then Athens over to Tibet. Ooh, should be very nice. And yeah, QZ Dink just buzzes with an absolute death machine. That XF11, that Widowmaking machine, the Widowmaker machine, nearly killed. So in the distance, I think we could see Bermuda in the distance. There's Bermuda. You can actually see it in the distance here. So in terms of economy-wise, Bermuda's economy is mainly deprived of tourism, as it accounts for more than half of the GDP of this island nation. As a destination for affluent travelers, it's known for its extensive collection of five-star resorts. However, weaker tourism activity since 2000 has slowed the economy. As well. Also, banking has also a significant portion is banking with institutions like Royal Bank of Canada, Scotiabank, and more financial services in Antigua. And for agriculture, they don't really have a lot of agricultural stuff due to a lot of shortage of laborers and the higher wages in tourism and construction as a result. In terms of transportation, they ran both publicly and privately operated services. The roads in the country are paved, with their paths are winding and gradual descents. Cars are driven on the left side of the road, and they have a speed limit of 40 miles per hour. So that's something to keep in mind. Woohoo! But yeah, imagine us getting done in the Caribbean by March. And we're going to pick up a similar pace after we do the Caribbean. After we end up doing the Caribbean, we're going to do, I think it's going to be Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to fly over to Maracaibo. Which would be that flight. That would be done in the 7-3. Then it'll be a stream to then we'll check out Venezuela cities. From Maracaibo, we'll make our way down to Barquisimeto, Valencia, and then Caracas. And then from there, we'll be going to Georgetown before doing a short-haul GA flight over to Paramaribo. And afterwards, we'll do So we're gonna make our way over to Codrington. This should be about 50 nautical miles to Codrington. So we're gonna continue making our way over here. There we go. And there's Antigua, and there's the island of Antigua in the distance. You can see Boggy Peak over in the distance. So just gonna descend to 1,000 feet. I'm gonna go ahead and so we're gonna make our way down to Codrington. So I want to ask you guys in the chat a few questions. So for stars for you guys, for the Super Bowl, who do you guys think wins? For me, if I were to make a prediction, I would probably say the Chiefs. I mean, no offense to the Niners, and while the Niners are a good team, I mean the Chiefs with Andy Reid and Mahomes is just like it's like a mirror image of Brady, Belichick. Legendary, really good coach and really great quarterback meets. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. So that's what I think is going to happen here. Mm. So yeah, we're gonna make our way down to Cotterton. That's gonna be our next stop. TKPK-TKPH Hotel will be our next stop of the trip. So we're gonna make our way over to Codrington. We'll be reaching here pretty soon. I think got the information for it. So here's Codrington. This is where we're gonna be flying to next. Is Codrington. This is the only major settlement in the island of Barbuda. It coincides with the Codrington Major Division, one of the two divisions in the island. Its population is 796 people as of 2011. It's the primary residential area in the island. It was established in 1685 by Christopher Codrington and his brother John. It's one of the oldest and 22nd largest city in the island. As one of the only larger areas in the entire country. It's home to many specialized facilities such as 7 churches, post office, police station, daycare, preschool, primary school, and secondary school. The main thing to keep an eye on for Codrington is mainly government employees make up the big part of the workers, paid private employees, and self-employed. Most workers have a fixed place of work outside of home. And also during the city, the Barbuda Caravana Festival takes place here every year in May. As well. And the main airport on the island we will be flying over is Barbuda Codrington Airport, Tango Alpha Papa Hotel. It serves the village of Codrington, known for its short 1,600-foot runway, mainly used for a lot of flights to and back to Antigua. It was severely damaged by Hurricane Irma in 2017, though they managed to repair it. That is the airport in Codrington. So, So we'll be exploring Bermuda for just a little bit before making our stop at the airport, which is actually right next to the city, right next to the small settlements. So check it out. You finally made it over to Codrington. Should be an absolutely beautiful little island to fly over. Beautiful little island here. So we have Alloy D still with us. We have Skin Clints in the ST4. Pretty cool stuff. This area is just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Look at this. This is pretty. Again, this sim, absolutely breathtaking. Yeah, once we land here, we'll get refueled for the last time, and then we'll be exploring the rest of Antigua. And then we'll fly into Antigua for the last leg. Beautiful area. Yeah, stuff like this is why I like to fly the ultralight. It's nice to fly this thing again after being gone without it for so long. It's super nice. And yeah, we'll definitely take the Tiger Moth on one of the streams. Don't worry, we'll take the Tiger Moth on one of the streams. So. This is the rest of Bermuda. Just beautiful. Yeah, day 11, man, it's been going great. What a great day 11 for us. Oh, stretching. And look at, who knew they had like trees and forests around the island too? So ahead of us here is what was supposed to be the new Barbuda Airport. This is supposed to be Barbuda's new airport. They're still working on it, so and here's Codrington. This is the main settlement here on the island. Go ahead and display the autopilot. Thanks. Yeah, well, so stop here for just a second. And I'm gonna stop here for just a second here. So if you guys want to join on in, we're here at Codrington Airport. Yeah, right next to the town. So we'll just stay here for just a little bit as we get people sort around the island. But yeah, beautiful area today. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get ready for the final leg of the trip. Let's go ahead and prepare for takeoff here at Codrington Airport. Let's go. Like I told you guys, this isn't going to be too. So, all right. Now we'll finally make our way to the island, the bigger island of Antigua. So we'll check out. We'll be checking out through Antigua. We'll be checking out much of the island. Yeah, the water here is absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, the Caribbean World Update did wonders for the entire region. We finally did it. Um, so to prepare for this, we're going to go ahead and talk about Barbuta's culture and stuff. And it starts with the music of Antigua's culture. Since the majority of Antiguans and Barbudans are descended from West Africans who brought the islands as slaves, the music traditions are predominantly of African origin and only been marginally influenced by European traditions. It's a second home for many popular music genres of the Caribbean, like calypso, soca, steel drums, souk, and reggae, and has produced stars in those genres. And most specifically, steel drum and calypso are important deals. However, other than this, there really isn't much research done in the musical history of the island. And most knowledge comes from novels, essays, and other secondary sources. There's also festivals, mainly Carnival, which is held every August to commemorate the abolition of slavery, featuring pageants, shows, competitions, and more. They are a major draw for a lot of tourists to come visit. The next place is the cuisine. Their official dish is known as fungi, which is fungi is and pepper pot are the national dish and pride. The main ingredient is cornmeal, which is similar to polenta. In addition to this, other popular dishes include ducana, saltfish, seasoned rice, and lobster are other big parts of Antiguan cuisine. And fuji, is made of cornmeal and okra. Mm. Um, well, another couple dishes for breakfast, they serve saltfish, eggplant, lettuce and other vegetables for breakfast. Lunches are starch, an entree and side dish, and dinners are mainly protein. Well, local beverages include Malby, sea moss, tamarind juice, raspberry juice, mango juice, lemonade, coconut milk, hibiscus juice, ginger beer, passion fruit, guava juice are all popular beverages served here on the island. And then in terms of sports, by far the most popular sport in the islands is cricket. In fact, one particular cricketer is Sir Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards, who represented the West Indies cricket team between 1974 and 1991, and had one of the most famous batsmen to ever play cricket. They also represented the country in the 1998 Commonwealth Games, but many cricketers actually played for the West Indies cricket team. Another popular sport has been football. Associated football has very popular. It has its own national team, which entered World Cup qualification for the 1974 tournament. The national team had a big achievement in 2012 when they got out of the preliminary group due to a victory over Haiti. As well. It's a pretty big accomplishment for such a small nation. And that represents the culture mainly of Antigua and Barbuda. So let's go ahead and talk about some really fun and very interesting facts about this island nation. First, Barbuda is home to one of the largest frigate colonies in the world. More than 5,000 of the country's national bird called Barbuda home. Basically, frigate birds are they're like seabirds. They're big seabirds, known for their black plumage, deeply forked tails, and its red gular pouch for the males, which is used to attract females. And they can actually soar on wind currents for most of the day for food, mainly catching fish and squid. And they soar from all around the world. So, very cool stuff. Antigua and Barbuda actually is made of 3 islands. A lot of people forget that it's not just 2 islands, it's 3 because there's the small island of Redonda, which is around 0.5 kilometers wide and 296 meters at the highest point, which is a remnant of a volcanic cone. And finally, and the last fun fact is that Antigua is home to one of the world's rarest snakes, the Antiguan racer, which has cut its population due to sugarcane production and invasive species being brought into the island by Europeans. Hey, Phlox! Good to see you, Foxtrot! Welcome on in! A shout out for the Phlox, of course. If you guys haven't known Foxtrot, he's an extremely close friend of the community, an awesome individual. Check out his channel on Twitch. He streams every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays on Twitch. Doing a lot of GA, general aviation flying. He does a lot of general aviation stuff. Bush trips, helicopters. I mean, he can do it. So, Phlox, we're actually heading to Antigua today. We're gonna head over, check out we already checked out Barbuda today, and we just took off from St. Kitts. Checked out both islands before making our way over to Barbuda, and now we're heading to Antigua. Now, here's some landmarks to check out in the country. There's the Shirley Heights Lookout, offering many tourists with the best view of the entire island. Also home to a restored gun battery, guardhouse, parade guards, officers' quarter, and more. And the Nelson's Dockyard, very popular for tourists with mobile attractions, and it's the only continuously operating Georgian dockyard in the world, still even to today. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so our place we're gonna check out today is St. John's, which is the capital and largest city of the island nation. St. John's definitely has a pretty interesting history within itself. As St. John's was found with the population of 22,000 people, it became founded in 1632. It became the seat of government and independence. It's among the most developed and cosmopolitan municipalities in the Western Antilles, famous for its shopping malls and boutiques, and attracts tourists from the residents and from cruise ships several times a week. Strong investment banking with major financial institutions here. And it also features a lot of rich culture, including its own museum as well as its own cricket ground as well. So we will be checking out St. John's Cathedral, Sandy Island, Fort James. We'll be flying through all of it today on our stream. And finally, the last stop is going to be BC Bird International. It's the main airport for the island. Originally was built by the U.S. Army Air Forces in World War II in Coolidge Airfield, mainly used for the bombardment squadron. Um, and then after the war, it was closed and handed over to the UK, and then it became a civilian airport until 1985 when it was renamed Sir Barry Cornwall Byrd, the first Prime Minister, and it became Antigua's main airport, connected it to destinations across the Caribbean, North America, and Europe. Destinations include Barbados, Toronto, St. Martin, Montreal, Charlotte, New York, London, St. Kitts, Dominica, Kingston, and more. So yeah, that is it for Antigua and Barbuda. That should cover everything we need to know about the two. So, as we get ready, guys, we're going to go ahead and prepare for the rest of the trip. I'm going to prepare to drop to 2,000 feet. And we'll be exploring the island. We'll be checking out the entire island. So we'll be flying through different islands. We'll just be exploring the entire place. So we'll go through some of the different islands, then we'll check out Hells Beach, and we're going to go over to Half Moon Bay, go across the river. We're going to check out Shirley Heights, because that is, for many people, one of the most popular areas for tourists. Like I said, I really am waiting. I'm hoping Murph is gonna pick the Caribbean because, like I said, it'd be really good. Like, for example, we can do flights out of Jamaica. We can make our way over to Antigua, or maybe out of Princess Juliana. But if I'm bet, maybe the 4 options could be Jamaica, Santo Domingo, San Juan, and Princess Juliana. That would be pretty cool. Have Juliana as a hub. And that would be pretty cool. I mean, that would be a fascinating place to have a hub. Is Juliana? That would be a fascinating place to have a hub. I mean, for general aviation, you would have at least all these other small islands to connect to for regional services. Would be pretty cool. So yeah, guys, I want to ask you all in the chat if you guys have any other plans for the week, for the rest of the week. So hope you guys have some fun on the weekend. So we'll be making our way down over to in terms of excursions, I did some researching so on Antigua. So it turns out there are some kinds of excursions to do in Antigua. So some excursions include the best Antigua, which Nelson Dockyard, Shirley Hall. We get to check out the dockyard. Panoramic Drive, a beach break. Fort James, snorkeling, cruises, scenic cruise, stingrays. Oh yeah, this is very pretty over here. Very, very beautiful. Oh yeah, you definitely are looking forward to the Super Bowl, Fox. I'm mainly just gonna be doing lots of flying today. That's what I'm gonna be planning on doing for the rest of the day. Is gonna be doing some flying. This is Hell's Gate Island. Super pretty. Alec D and Skinflints are also with us too. We have Alec and Skinflints as well. They're flying with us. Thank you both of you guys for flying along today. Yeah, this should be a beautiful flight. That is gorgeous. Wow. I mean, man, like I said, that Caribbean World Update, man, like the water masking, that changes everything I know about these places. So, yeah, it's getting the scenery here is just gorgeous, and oh, I love the Caribbean Update. That is such a pretty. Like I said, and yes, Fox, I'm taking the ultralight today, which is actually the perfect plane to take for this one, considering we're going to be doing some low flying. Actually, I'm going to go even lower. I'm going to go 1500. I'm going to go even lower. Just incredible. Oh yeah, absolutely. The water masking. Yeah, the water masking really did wonders for this. It's so. No worries, Fox. No worries at all. Taking it easy. No worries, my dude. Yeah, I'm very excited to check out Antigua next year. I'll be visiting the island next year along with St. Kitts and St. Lucia. Dominica and St. Lucia. Yeah, in Dominica. I'll be visiting Dominica next year as well, and St. Kitts, which I'm very excited for because I really want to check out this area in real life already. So this is Devil's Bridge National Park. We'll be checking out next. Absolutely beautiful day. What a great way to wrap up. What a great way to wrap up the week. What a great way to wrap up the weekend. This is gorgeous today. Wow, this happened. I'm glad I took this today. I bet you guys are gonna be glad I actually took this plane today. Because, yeah, this is like the. And I wish I could have flown with this update before I did the journey. I mean, I would have loved to see what the Bahamas and Havana would be in Jamaica. But I definitely tell you, if we get our Caribbean hub, if our hub's gonna be in the Caribbean, I'd definitely be doing plenty of flights from there. Depending on which airport is the hub. If it's Jamaica being the hub, I would like to do some flying to either the Dominican Republic or the Caymans. If it's the Dominican Republic, maybe flying from San Juan, Santo Domingo kind of routes. And of course, if St. Martin was a hub, maybe some regional routes in like Martinique and all. Would be very. Now we're going to get ready to go in and cross over to a very popular tourist spot, Shirley Heights in English Harbor. We're going to go ahead and. Oh man. Oh wow, this. Oh, wow, that's gorgeous. Holy moly, that's pretty. Gorgeous. Holy crap. Hey, Waylon Utah, good to see ya. This plane here is the Drifter Ultralight. This is from Ants Airplanes, Wayland. Um, this was actually Ants Airplanes' original plane. They later made the Tiger Moth, which is a really great little vintage plane. It's the Tiger Moth and the Windgeo. Both really good planes from Ants Airplanes. They put a lot of high quality stuff, and you can get this for $15, which is very inexpensive. Um, yeah, you can buy it from Sim Market for 15 euros, which is not bad at all. It's a beautiful. It hasn't been updated in a bit, but I mean, the plane works perfectly good. We're just flying over the island of Antigua. Absolutely beautiful island. The world update. Um, Beautiful place. So around this area is Mount Obama. It's the tallest peak in the island. Right over here is Mount Obama. Um, Beautiful, beautiful peak. The reason I picked this point today was because it was a pretty short flight. We just went from St. Kitts um, over to here, so I decided to take the ultralight so I can explore St. Kitts, Nevis, Barbuda, and Antigua. Yeah, no worries, Wayland. No worries at all. Yeah, some of the views here are just gorgeous. And the best part about this plane too, Wayland, is the view you get out of this. There's no cockpit, there's no exterior things like doors or ceiling. You just get fresh Caribbean wind. Just beautiful. We'll go ahead and turn right on here. We'll make our way through Jolly Harbor. And then we'll go through downtown St. John's and we'll wrap up the stream at VC Bird International. We can wrap up our little bit of a tour. The area is beautiful. I mean, this update, if you never noticed, guys, this watermarking, huge improvement in that area, and it really transforms this entire place. I mean, it's already pretty beforehand, the Caribbean, but man, I'm just very excited for what's going to happen. Listen, right around here, is Jolly Harbor. Again, lots of resorts in this area. Antigua's got tons of resorts along the coast with Marianas. Soon we'll be approaching downtown St. John's. We'll get here. So, right around this area is where Fort Barrington's at. Fort. And then we'll make our way over to downtown. Hey, King Cobra, good to see you. We're about to make our final stop here at Antigua. So we finally make our way over to Antigua. We're in St. John's right now. We're going to fly over briefly over downtown. Here's the cruise dock. This is where they put the cruise ships for those wanting to visit the island. This is the cruise ship dock, which our cruise ship would probably be on next year. And there is St. John's Cathedral right ahead of us. That's a POI landmark. That is St. John's Cathedral. Okay, let's go ahead and get her. Well, that is it, everyone. We finally make our way over to Antigua. Go ahead and turn off the AP Master. And I'm going to go ahead and power down a bit. Off speed. And we'll make our landing here. We're going to make our stop here in Antigua. And that will be wrapping up today's stream. The big old 99, it's due a 10,000 foot runway, which is great. Because you're going to need that to get into the Caribbean. What's nice about this plane is this thing just glides in. Glide where we want. Yeah, nice and simple stream today. Like nothing too. And another great landing. Well, that just wrapped up today's stream. So, guys, what a great stream. Well, guys, that officially wraps up today's stream, guys. What an awesome, awesome flight. So, guys, thank you all once again for another awesome stream. That is day 11 is officially in the books here at Antigua today. What a great, great way to wrap up this week's streams. So we will be back on Wednesday. We'll be taking the Douglas DC-6 out for a trip in Reno to Fresno to Las Vegas on Wednesday. And for the Around the World trip, we'll be back here on Friday as we tour Dominica and St. Lucia. So, guys, thanks once again for another awesome stream. We're going to go ahead and we're actually going to raid someone else today. We're going to raid a good friend of Allie's today, Fork Panda. So, thank you guys. Take care and have a great rest of the day. Bye.